Namaste, I'm Manoj Joshi. I have the pleasure to talk to you about what's going on right now and how we can take advantage of this time and try to get something positive. So we are still in the lockdown mode. So we are collecting all these thoughts together. Today is the day 19, and it will be a historical anecdotes for people in the future to know what happened in the year of 2020 and how many days were people in a state of lockdown and what was going on in the people's mind. So from those point of view, it makes sense to record these thoughts and try to get a global consciousness in one direction so that there could be some changes what is due right now. So we have been discussing about many different aspects of yoga and Vedanta, the modern management, the psychology, the different things that's happening, immunology, and all the different things to help us how to be totally healthy, how to be truly happy, and how to build up a strong immune system so that we all can be safe and healthy through this critical time. And today's talk I would like to dedicate to all the wonderful yoga teachers, wellness instructors, who have been so passionate about teaching yoga classes all around the world, but because of this lockdown, shelter at place order from different governments, obviously all the studios and all the fitness centers are closed. So everybody is trying to do some live streaming classes. They're slowly gearing up. We also offer a lot of live streaming sessions. We want to help out the community in the world to do something every day while they are at home so that they can be healthier, they can be happier, they can deal with the situations in a positive way by building stronger immune system with a stronger positivity of the mindset and a higher intelligence and the emotional balance. So with all this good intent, let's try to get into the topic today. Today I would like to talk a little bit more about how to develop our intelligence and what are the different yogic tools and techniques which have been proven not only from the past centuries as a practice, but also how the modern science have approved that. Those are evidence-based. People have seen in academic institutions, in management schools, in medical institutions, they've done numerous amount of studies all over the world to prove that such concepts what the rishis and yogis used to practice, and they have recommended those lessons for us right now to practice, which will improve our intelligence. You might be remembering about, I think on the fourth day, I talked about an image that comes in the Katha Upanishad when Nachiketa, the 12-year-old child, was in conversation with the Lord of Death. The Lord of Death talked about how human beings can transcend this physical body and then go to the higher realm of consciousness after the death. So in that image, it talked about a horse, 10 horses with a cart, and there was somebody in the driver's seat and somebody in the back seat. So you can refer to that. So the person who is in the driver's seat is the intelligence, who directly reports to the soul. So in order to improve the spiritual strength, we need to develop our intelligence. So that's the topic that I want to talk about today. And as usual, we start with a story. A story comes to my mind right now. It's a very famous story. Probably everybody you have already heard. So I would say it just to build a context. This is a story of 4 wives. A rich merchant had 4 wives, and he very dearly loved his 4th wife, very beautiful, proud of her all the time, and he spent a lot of time in adorning her beauty by giving her the fineries of the jewelry and costumes and the robes and everything what he could do. The best of what he had was spent on her. He also loved his 3rd wife. He was very proud of her beauty, and he was always showing her off with his friends. But always in his back of his mind, there was a fear that one day, she might run with someone else. He also loved his second wife. In fact, she was very kind and compassionate, and all the time, whenever he had some problem, whenever he had some issues, he could discuss with her, and she was also very intelligent and smart and sensible enough to give him the right consultations. And the fourth wife was also very loyal to him. She did everything that is possible to take care of his health, take care of his happiness, take care of his business, and doing all the household works. But this rich merchant was not loving the first wife, but the first wife was definitely much in love with him. So after a few years, this rich merchant fell ill and he was about to die. And on his deathbed, he thought to himself, hey, I have been leading a very luxurious life. I've got 4 beautiful wives. And now that the last moment is coming, I will be all alone. And he didn't like that idea. So on the bed, he approached his fourth wife. Hey, look, I have been loving you the most. I have spent so much of money and so much of energy, so much of time onto you. And I'm going to go to the other side of life. Won't you accompany me? And the fourth wife said, no way. And just suddenly she just disappeared from that scene. And by listening to that no, this person became so depressed. His heart sank. Almost it was like a thunderbolt on his heart. Or someone cut through a knife. And he approached the third wife. Hey, I also loved you the most. I took you around. I showed you around to all my friends. I was so proud of you. Won't you come with me? And he said, no way. I love my life here. And probably once you're gone, I would remarry. And listening to her, of course, the rich man's heart sank, became too cold. And then he approached the second wife. He said, look, you have been always helpful to me. I've been always seeking help from you. And then you've been so kind. And I need your help right now. I don't want to die alone. Can you please help me? And the second wife said, no, I'm so sorry. I've been helping you, but not now. I can't help you at this stage. At most, all I can do is take you to your grave. That's all I can do. And she ran away. And finally, he just heard a voice from a distance. I will live with you. No matter how you have treated me, I will go with you all the time. I'll go with you when you die. And there was the first wife. And so sad by looking at all the reactions from the 3 other wives. So this person regretted that I should have taken care of you. You're so skinny, almost like malnutrition. I'm so sorry for that. I could not take your care when I could have. So in reality, according to the story, we all have 4 wives. The first wife refers to a body. No matter how much expensive clothes we give it to her or give it to this body, how much fashion we do, how much cosmetics we apply, when we die, this body will not go with us. The second wife represents all our possessions, all our status, or the wealth accumulation that we have made in this world. At the moment we are gone, so they will go to someone else. And the third wife represents all our friends, families, all our well-wishers. No matter how close they are, when we die, at the most they can only go up to the graveyard. And the fourth wife refers to, or the first wife rather, refers to our soul. It's always with us, no matter how we treat her. So friends, if we don't awaken now and do not spend some time to develop and augment the soul power inside us and become intimate with her, we all would be lamenting, regretting, at her deathbed if you have not taken care of her first wife's, so-called the soul. So this pertains to the greater responsibility of all human beings in this life to spend some time towards a spiritual growth and spiritual development. That means taking care of the soul. Coming back to the example that I gave, the cart, but there is a soul sitting in the back seat. The intelligence is driving, holding the reins of the mind, and all the sense organs and the karmendriyas and the 10 horses are pulling the cart on the path of the world. That means towards different objects in the world. So the soul has got an approach with the intelligence, or a rapport with the intelligence. So if you build the intelligence by doing certain work, obviously we can get closer to our soul. So that's the logic that I want to put today. So I will talk something more about what is this technique that can help us. On my third day talk, I was talking about the real meaning of mantra, yantra and tantra. How mantra is so powerful to protect our mind. And one of such mantras is Gayatri mantra, which has been a wonderful tool. The meaning of Gayatri is Gayantam Trayate iti Gayatri. That means by singing or by chanting which you can protect your mind, you can liberate your mind. You can take out all the stress, worries, sufferings from your life by chanting this mantra. So today I am going to talk about the story behind the Gayatri mantra, what is the meaning of Gayatri mantra, and what are the benefits of it, and how we can practice it. So this story in a nutshell, of course it's a very long story, I'll just try to make it a brief story. So there was a king called Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra was a very strong king, very powerful king. So one day he was traveling with thousands of his soldiers from one city to another city, one kingdom to another kingdom. And on the way, he came across the hermitage of Brahmarshi Vasishtha. In the olden time, all these kings and then the chief of the administration, they used to pay a visit to these sages to seek their blessings, to seek their wisdoms. And the Rishi Vasishtha asked king, how is everything? And then he said yes, everything is fine thanks to your blessings. Rishi Vasishtha insisted that why don't you stay for some more time, I'll give you food. And then take some rest and then go. Then king said we have thousands of armies with me, and it's impossible for a Rishi like you to give us the food. Rest aside, we'll just go back to our kingdom and then take rest and take our food. But the Rishi insisted that you just stay. All he did is went inside his house. He had a beautiful cow, a divine cow. Her name is Kamadhenu. So Kamadhenu is a celestial cow. It's a divine goddess in the disguise of the cow who wanted to be in the realm of Rishi. And she had the special power, spiritual power to give any boon or any desire come true instantaneously. So all the Rishi did is whisper in the ear of the cow that he needs food for the thousands of soldiers. And instantaneously, in the corner of the hermitage, there were big pots of most delicious food. And then the Rishi said hey, all the food is ready. The king and all his soldiers ate a sumptuous meal. And the king was so astonished, wow, in the midst of the forest, you could make food so soon? Isn't it a miracle? How did you do that? And then the Rishi, of course, talks about the Kamadhenu, the cow, and then talks a little bit about her, and then the king's ego, and then greed comes to his mind. And he said that I'm the king, everything that belongs to my kingdom should belong to me, and I want to take this cow. And then Rishi said no, this is a divine cow, you cannot touch her. She wants to be in this atmosphere, in this ambience, you cannot touch her. I said, I don't care, I want to take her. And with a lot of resistance, he said to his army, go and then take her. And then the Rishi warned him once for the last time, look, she's a very divine cow. You can't even touch her, and you will pay for it if you touch. And neglecting the words of the Rishi, the king Vishwamitra sent her soldiers, and then this Rishi had a simple stick, but that was the embodiment of his spiritual power. So he just put the stick, stumped the stick on the ground, and suddenly all the thousands of soldiers, they fell dead. And the king said, wow, so much of power. And then he also wanted to wrestle with the Rishi. And then the same thing the Rishi did one more time, and the Rishi became so powerless. None of his power worked, and he became so defeated. Out of anger and out of arrogance, this king declared that all this power that I have, being a Kshatriya or a soldier or a warrior, is of no use. This Brahma or this Tapasvi's power, the power of a Rishi, is the ultimate power. And he took a vow before this Rishi that I am going to do the austerity, I am going to do the tapasya, what is required to get this Brahma Vidya, this Brahma power, the power of the Brahman, and I'll show it to you. So he goes to his kingdom, and then he gives back his kingdom to his sons, and then goes to the forest to do his tapasya. And in those time, the time is a cyclic concept. It looks like thousands of years passed by, he did his tapasya. After so much of tapasya, but still the flavor of his ego and arrogance was not totally gone. He was still having that rage in mind. He still could not forget that moment, the encounter with Rishi Vasishtha or the Brahmarshi Vasishtha. He was always wanted to take the revenge. So meanwhile, another story happens here. There was a king who wanted to go to heavens in his own body without dying, which was against the cosmic law. So he approached Rishi Vasishtha, and Vasishtha said no, I'm not going to do that stupid work for you to satisfy your ego. I don't want to expend my spiritual power on that. That is against my law. And then he went to his sons, and his sons ridiculed him, cursed him, and then made him very ugly looking. And out of rage and anger, this king went to Vishwamitra. And Vishwamitra, an enemy's enemy is a friend. So he said if Rishi Vasishtha could not take you, I will take you to the heaven. And he used all his spiritual power to take him up to the heavens in his own body. And Indra, the king of the gods, he came down and he said that's against the law of the cosmic principles. You can't do that. And then he resisted. So in between, the Trisanku hung up there, upside down. So in the middle, between the earth and the heaven, because of the spiritual power of Vishwamitra, he created a second heaven. It's called Trisanku. Trisanku is also a state of indecisive mind. That's a metaphor for indecisive mind. So Trisanku left in between. And then after that, because he exhausted all his power, King Vishwamitra had to go for another hundreds of years of austerity to accumulate more spiritual power. And after that again, Indra sent another Urvasi or another the celestial dame called Menaka. And Menaka seduced him, and then he went with her and spent few hundred years with her, forgetting about his original vow. And finally, when Menaka left him, he realized his goal and again went for a deeper austerity. And then Lord Brahma came to him, and then he said you are satisfied with your tapasya, and I want to make you a Maharshi. That means Rajarshi and Maharshi. Maharshi is still less than the Brahmarshi. Then he said why not Brahmarshi? I want to be like Brahmarshi Vasishtha. And then no, I cannot do that. You still have anger and ego in your mind. You still don't have that clean and pure mind. But in order to get that, you have to go to Rishi Vasishtha. Only by his blessings you'll be able to get there. And then he decided to come back to Brahmarshi Vasishtha. And then just before he entered his hermitage, he just overheard Brahmarshi Vasishtha talking to his wife Arundhati. That look, I know about this Vishwamitra. He's a good soul, he's a good person. All this time I've been helping him to clean up his mind, and I want to make him progress in his spiritual journey. So all kind words that he's talking about it. So King Vishwamitra realized that how noble this person is, despite all this animosity, he still is a good friend of mine, and then he's still wishing me all the best. So realizing his mistake and his pride and everything came down, and he fell on his feet. So soon that his forehead touched the ground or the feet or the big toe of the Brahmarshi, suddenly a big surge of spiritual energy entered to him, and he got into samadhi state, and immediately, spontaneously, he chanted this Gayatri mantra in the praise of the Supreme Intelligence. See, these mantras are not written like lyrics. It appears to the mind of the sages in the state of highest consciousness. That's how Gayatri mantra was invented or created by Brahmarshi, then became Brahmarshi with the blessings of Vasishtha. So Vishwamitra is known for giving this mankind this powerful Gayatri mantra. The Gayatri mantra, we will chant that mantra, but the meaning of this Gayatri mantra is, I'll just recite it once, and after that we'll repeat during the chanting time. Om Bhut Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So the Om is that sound symbol of the Supreme Intelligence or the Brahman. And this Bhu Bhuvaswa, this represents the three lokas, the earth plane or the plane of our ancestors, Pitrulok, and then the Swargalok. It also represents different qualities of our mind. So there are different interpretations of these three layers of our being, or three layers or three worlds that the sages talk about. And what illumines these three worlds is the sunlight. Not only sun, the Savitra, that means the source of the sunlight. It includes all the galaxies, all the universes, all these luminous objects in the universe. So the whole luminosity or the source of light is considered as a Savitra. And that illumines these three worlds. So now this meaning of this mantra is just like, oh Savitra, or the sun, or the mother of all the suns. As you have been illuminating these three worlds, so kindly illumine my intelligence and make it so powerful that I can be able to comprehend this divine knowledge. I can understand the truth of life. I can be self-realized. So this mantra, if we chant it in the proper way with a lot of reverence, according to the science recently done by All India Institute of Medical Science and many other universities all over the world, many management schools, many schools in different countries have been practicing this Gayatri mantra as a powerful technique of improving our mindset, our mind power. So there are 5-fold faculties of the mind which essentially this Gayatri mantra talks about. The first one is Dhi. Dhi means the intellect, the divine intellect. Then it talks about Prajna, which is the higher wisdom. It talks about Dhriti, which is the higher willpower. And then one more, it talks about Medha, is the divine intellect or the talent. So Dhi is the divine intellect, Medha is the highest talent that we can think about. And then Prajna is the wisdom, the divine wisdom that we have. Dhriti is the divine willpower, the focus of the mind. And finally, Smriti is the highest memory that we can build up. So essentially everything that we need to be successful in our life, having a higher intellectual quotient, a strong memory, a good willpower, a focus, all these things are required to be successful in life, and Gayatri Mantra has the power to give it to us. So it is said that if you chant this Gayatri Mantra, which is actually given to all the Brahmin boys, the seekers, during their Upanayan, or they get the sacred thread. I was given this mantra on my 7th grade, and in fact so coincidentally I have been practicing this Gayatri Mantra all my childhood time. I used to make these japas and write down. One of my teachers in the high school was very much motivating us. He created a temple of Gayatri in our town. So he gave us this beautiful notebooks, and you write down 54 times and 108 times the Gayatri Mantra every day. and at the end of the month, like you turn these notebooks, and you get some kind of awards or incentives as a student. I also used to practice this Gayatri Yajna, which is a sacrifice every Sunday with my teachers. So somehow I was very close to this practice of Gayatri Mantra in my childhood time. And sometimes people making fun of me because my wife happens to be Gayatri. So because I was praying for Gayatri in my childhood time, probably I got her as my wife. And we've been happily married for the last 27 years. I don't have to touch it because I'm sitting on the wood itself. I'm stretching on the stage. So friends, let's try to practice some Gayatri Mantra chanting today. We will chant 12 times together, because either you can chant 12 times, 36 times or 108 times. These are all different numbers. And I have already talked about the 3 Kala Sandhya Vandana, the 3 times the sun's transformation happens, the sunrise time, the noon time, and then sunset time. So during these 3 times, if you do chant 36 times each, that makes 108 times, and you can see that transformation that has been documented. Your mind will completely change. And in Maharashtra, people do it, a spiritual practice of doing 24 lakhs or 24 lakhs of this mantra in a specific amount of time. So there are a lot of people who have been benefiting from this practice. So let's just practice 12 times of Gayatri Mantra chanting. So if you already know, you can chant along with me or just repeat after me. Before that, let's bring back both the palms together, closer to the heart, and set this intention for this spiritual practice, that we are becoming totally healthy, truly happy, and building up a stronger immune system. Repeat that goal 3 times in your mind with a great feeling in your heart. Now we'll raise both the hands up to the sky to download the cosmic energy by chanting 5 Ohms. So breathe in. In. Inhale. Inhale. And one last one with your open mind and heart. Gently bring your palms back to the heart again. Let's keep this Namaskar mantra, which also brings balance to our body and mind. Let's chant Gayatri Mantra 12 times. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Vargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Now you can keep your palms down on your knees or thighs. Keep your eyes still closed. Connect to the heart center and try to feel that this divine light is present in your heart in the form of an Om. And as usual, as you practice Prana Shakti 5 times in your mind, as you breathe in, And again, chant 5 times in your mind the word Prana Shakti 5 times as you breathe out, and try to feel connected to the source of light from the sun we have in the solar system and all the other sources of light in the vast universe and multiverses. All those luminous objects, the source of knowledge, the source of intelligence is present in our heart and is illuminating our body, our mind, our intelligence and our spirit. And is transmitting right now to the entire universe, planet Earth, and all her inhabitants. Every animate or inanimate objects, every beings and things are getting illumined with this Gayatri, or the power of the sun. And just try to meditate for 1 minute. The entire universe is one family. And let's pray for everyone's intelligence becoming sharper, brilliant. And may this practice that we are doing, the thoughts we are transpiring in this space and time, be powerful enough to build a collective consciousness, a powerful transformation that's happening at this time when everybody has a little more time at their own home to practice little spirituality and meditation. The spiritual quotient of this planet is rising up, no doubt about it. So this practice of Gayatri Mantra, if you want to practice more every day, just 12 times, and make a commitment to practice for 30 days and see for yourself what improvement happens to your memory, to your focus, to your intelligence, to your talent, to your thinking process. And with that, we will complete this practice of meditation online by chanting a peace prayer. Sarvisham swastir bhavatu, sarvisham shantir bhavatu, sarvisham purnam bhavatu, sarvisham mangalam bhavatu. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasisyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.